I give you one more chance. Who's the greatest? You are.
He anointed himself the greatest, and then set about making sure no one could question the point. The one and only Muhammad Ali. Manny Pacquiao was for many years the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, as well as a national hero to the Philippines. And the incomparable Sugar Ray Robinson, the man who won the World Middleweight Championship 5 times. 3 of boxing's finest. This is the Immortals. He towered over boxing and transcended sport itself. Muhammad Ali is one of the most powerful figures in the history of the world. It was Muhammad Ali himself who first dubbed himself the greatest. It was 1964, and he was about to fight Sonny Liston, a frightening brawler, for the heavyweight championship of the world in Miami, Florida. He was just 22 and still known by his birth name, Cassius Clay. And he had turned the pre-fight build-up into a circus, calling Liston a big, ugly bear. Clay, the kid from Louisville, Kentucky, supposedly did not stand a chance against a brute like Liston, whose 2 previous fights had lasted a single round.
From Louisville, Kentucky, Cassius Clay.
But Clay found a way to win, Liston declining to emerge after the 6th round, and Clay hanging over the ropes, mocking the writers who had doubted him, before accepting his first World Championship belt. 15 months later, they fought again, controversially, in Lewiston, Maine. And this time, Ali was a mature champion. He danced around Liston before sending him to the canvas in the first round. Ali glowering over the fallen challenger after he hit the canvas. It resulted in one of the most famous images in all of sports. Ali ended up winning the World Heavyweight Championship 3 times, the first to do so. Along the way, he was suspended from boxing and stripped of his passport for refusing to serve America in the unpopular Vietnam War. He changed his name from Cassius Clay, my slave name, he called it, to Muhammad Ali, and adopted the Islamic faith. He challenged America on race relations, joined a radical group known as the Nation of Islam, led by Elijah Muhammad, and befriended Malcolm X, the prominent civil rights activist. Years before rap and hip-hop became popular, he devised poems to promote his fights and to belittle his opponents.
I'm so fast, man, I can run through a hurricane and don't get wet. When George Foreman meets me, he'll pay his debt. I can drown a drink of water and kill a dead tree. Wait till you see Muhammad Ali.
It was a theatrical act that could not be missed. The world literally could not look away, and Ali became the most recognizable person on earth. His fights went into the annals of history. The Thriller in Manila against Joe Frazier, the Rumble in the Jungle against George Foreman. They are still talked about decades on. Ali wanted people to notice him, even despise him, as many did. For his opponents, it was a cunning trap. There has never been a smarter fighter, and probably never a better fighter either. Still to come on the Immortals, the political Muhammad Ali.
will you go into service as such?
This would be 1,000% against the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the religion of Islam, and the Holy Quran, the holy book that we believe in. This will all be denouncing and defying everything that I stand for.
This would mean, of course, that you stand the chance of going to jail as a result of not going into service.
Well, whatever the punishment, whatever the persecution is for standing up for my religious beliefs, even if it means facing machine gun fire that day, I will face it before denouncing Elijah Muhammad and the religion of Islam. I'm ready to die.
Muhammad Ali's refusal to accept the draft into the US military in 1967 was his most famous political and social act. As the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, it drew huge publicity as he fought moves to jail him, and he lost his titles and state by state was banned from fighting. It was an incredibly brave act given the response it provoked in an era of social unrest in America.
Ali scared the American establishment. They didn't really understand black people very well. They didn't understand the Nation of Islam or Malcolm very well, and they really thought that Muhammad Ali had a kind of power to make the masses rise up.
Ali did not back down. He toured the US speaking out against the Vietnam War as his suspension continued for 3 years. He told Americans that their country had its own problems. I got no quarrel with them Viet Cong. He won an appeal against his conviction, resumed boxing in 1970, and reclaimed the world heavyweight title. The rest, as they say, is history. The second phase of Ali's career, beyond his suspension, was just as captivating. In 1971, he appeared to be a diminished force when he lost to the world champion Joe Frazier in New York, his first ever defeat in a professional bout. Ultimately, he had to go to Africa and fight the powerful George Foreman to win the heavyweight belt again 3 years later. It was October 30, 1974, in Kinshasa, Zaire, a fight held at 3 a.m. for purposes of television and promoted by the notorious Don King. Ali had an idea. He wedged himself against the ropes and let Foreman flail at him, ducking and weaving and parrying for 7 rounds, so that observers thought him doomed or at least frozen. Ali later called it his rope-a-dope. With Foreman tiring, Ali launched into his assault at the start of the 8th round and knocked out his opponent, reclaiming the heavyweight crown. The men in his corner, from trainer Angelo Dundee down, had no clue of the ruse that he had planned for Foreman. The trick was to make him think he was the baddest man in the world, and everybody had to run from him. Muhammad Ali was quicker than most of the heavyweights he fought, incredibly agile for a big man of 191 centimeters and around 107 kilograms, and he could dance in the ring. He had power, but he did not maul opponents or terrorize them like Liston had, or Mike Tyson did later. There was a subtlety to his craft and a beauty to the way he fought, albeit that he would trash talk with the best of them. The world came to love him, and even opponents like Foreman, whom Ali had belittled as the Mummy, befriended him.
Because when you're boxing, you're so competitive, you're so jealous, then afterwards you realize, hey, we have too much in common. We're both heavyweight champ of the world, got lots of children. Why can't we be the best of friends? And I found him to be the best of friends.
Over the next 3 years, Ali successfully defended his title 10 times, including the famous, or infamous, third bout against Frazier in Manila, one of the most brutal fights ever.
It's the greatest chance of your life. You're getting it. Are you ready, man?
Yeah, I'm definitely ready. And I will be more ready by the time the fight comes up.
But in February 1977, he lost to Leon Spinks in Las Vegas, conceding 13 years in age to his opponent. the greatest had just one more shot in the locker. A rematch was scheduled for September of the same year in New Orleans. At 36 years, 241 days, Muhammad Ali beat Spinks in the rematch and was world heavyweight champion for the third time. It is such a monumental feat that it is virtually forgotten that he had two more fights, losing to his old sparring partner Larry Holmes and to the Canadian Trevor Berbick at 39 years of age. By then, his regular doctor had quit the entourage, saying that his kidneys were damaged and that he needed to stop. He would later develop Parkinson's disease. Muhammad Ali fought 61 times as a professional, winning 56 times, 37 by knockout, and losing just 5 times. Of the 5 defeats, 3 were in his last 4 fights, beyond the age of 36. He was honored in film and song. He lit the torch to open the 1996 Atlanta Olympic Games, was named to Time's Most Important People of the 20th Century, and anointed the Athlete of the Century by Sports Illustrated. Ali's death in 2016 caused a wave of mourning around the world.
He was a tremendous bolt of lightning, created by Mother Nature out of thin air, a fantastic combination of power and beauty. We've seen still photographs of lightning bolts at the moment of impact, ferocious in its strength, magnificent in its elegance. And at the moment of impact, it lights up everything around it, so you can see everything clearly. Muhammad Ali struck us in the middle of America's darkest night, in the heart of its most threatening gathering storm. His power toppled the mightiest of foes, and his intense light shined on America. And we were able to see clearly injustice, inequality, poverty, pride, self-realization, courage, laughter, love, joy, and religious freedom for all. Ali forced us to take a look at ourselves. This brash young man who thrilled us, angered us, confused, and challenged us, ultimately became a silent messenger of peace, who taught us that life is best when you build bridges between people, not walls.
Muhammad Ali, the greatest, was 74. His legacy as a boxer is staggering. His legacy as a man goes far, far beyond that.
Who's the greatest? I give you one more chance. Who's the greatest? You are! All right.
Up next on the Immortals, the King of the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is known as the National Fist of the Philippines, a deity of the Asian archipelago, or more simply, he's the Pac-Man.
So now welcome the welterweight champion of the world, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao.
Boxing is my passion. There's no question about that. Boxing is my passion. That's why I continue keep on fighting. And of course, I love to entertain people.
Emmanuel Daddy Pran Pacquiao is the only boxer to win world titles in 8 different weight divisions. He moved seamlessly through the divisions, from flyweight in 1998 to junior featherweight in 2001, to featherweight in 2003, to lightweight and junior lightweight, to junior welterweight and welterweight, and finally junior middleweight at the top of the fight game for more than 15 years. He is also the only boxer to win 5 lineal titles, being undisputed king at flyweight, super bantamweight, super featherweight, light welterweight, and welterweight divisions. Pacquiao rose from the streets of Manila, where he had run away from his hometown to escape the poverty and deprivation of his broken family, sleeping on cardboard boxes from the age of 12. He fought to provide for himself and his mother, joining the Filipino national squad as a teenager. A southpaw, he stood just 166 centimeters, but he could unleash punches in a fury, and he was quick. Soon he would become known as the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet, an honor he held until his mid-30s.
I cannot imagine that the boy that don't have food and sleeping in the street, that he raised me this level of life. And that's how I want to share to everyone. And this fight on Saturday, what our goal is to give the fans enjoyment and satisfaction of our performance.
The Pac-Man became so popular in the Philippines that warring forces in the south of the country would declare a temporary truce during his fights. When he fought Floyd Mayweather Jr. at MGM Grand in Las Vegas on May 2nd, 2015, for the welterweight championship of the world, the so-called fight of the century captured attention in all corners of the globe.
I've been looking forward for this for a long, long time. I'm going to get my fighter as ready as possible. We are in the toughest fight of our life. We're fighting the best fighter in the world. And we're going to kick his ass. I'm sorry, but good luck, Floyd.
The fight generated 4.4 million pay-per-view purchases around the world, the highest ever, and $410 million in television revenue, more than double any previous fight, and tens of thousands watched on big screens in Manila. Boxing had not seen such heady territory since the days of Ali and Frazier. But aged 36 and hurting, Pacquiao lost to Mayweather, although the fight went the distance. All three judges had the fight clearly in Mayweather's favor, the American clinging to his incredible unbeaten 49-fight record. Pacquiao's camp later claimed that a shoulder injury had been troubling him, furious that the Nevada Boxing Commission stopped him from having a pain-killing injection before the fight, while Mayweather had been allowed a saline injection to rehydrate after the weigh-in.
This training camp, we planning to postpone, or because it's been 2 weeks I didn't train good because of I didn't use my right hand. I cannot use my right hand, and we plan to file in commission exemption for the shot, for numbing my shoulder, but we respect the decision of the commission that is not allowed. So,
upon reflection, the fight did not diminish Pacquiao's career. More so, it enhanced Mayweather's reputation as one of the greats as well. Pacquiao kept fighting, and with Mayweather in retirement, he reclaimed the WBO welterweight title when he beat Jesse Vargas in Las Vegas in November 2016. In the process, he became the first man to win 5 lineal titles, fighting in front of none other than Floyd Mayweather Jr., an interested spectator on the night.
Sad to say that after this, I'm going to retire and hang up my gloves and focus to my another big responsibility in life, to help the people. And I remember when I start boxing, I entered into boxing because I want to help my family, my mother. That's how I know boxing. Before that, I don't know boxing. And now I end my boxing career in helping people, helping the Filipino people.
The National Board of Canvassers will hereby proclaim the People's Champion, Emmanuel D. Manny Pacquiao.
Thank you very much to the Filipino people for their support and trust.
Manny Pacquiao is far more than a boxer. He formed his own political party, the People's Champ Movement. And he has been involved in Filipino politics since 2010, when he was elected to Congress in the district of Sarangani. He has been a strong supporter of Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte, who runs a strident anti-drugs policy, and who has refused to back down on the demands of the USA. In 2016, Pacquiao was elected to the Senate, although he continued to box beyond that, seeking approval from the government. Manny Pacquiao may end up as president of the Philippines, such is the depth of love for him. He may also be the most popular athlete within his own country, anywhere. When we return, the brooding genius from Harlem, Sugar Ray Robinson. He emerged from the tough streets of Harlem in New York to achieve worldwide fame. Sugar Ray Robinson was 5 times world middleweight champion, taking the belt for the first time in 1951 and winning it back for a 5th time 7 years later. The expression pound for pound, as it relates to modern superstars like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather Jr., originated with Robinson. He was 180 centimeters tall and fought at around 73 kilograms, but he was a devastatingly fast puncher with a crushing left hook. He had to change his name. Born Walker Smith Jr. in 1921, he was dubbed Sugar by a New York gym owner who thought his style sweeter than sugar. Too young for his first fight in 1936, he needed to borrow the Amateur Athletic Union card of another boxer named Ray Robinson to enter the ring, and he never used his birth name again. He had a stellar amateur career, then won a welterweight world title as a professional in 1947, holding it until 1950, and unbeaten before stepping up a division with a reputation that he had to carry.
That is Sugar Ray Robinson.
Robinson had effectively killed a man, Jimmy Doyle, with a left hook in a fight in 1947. He had won the fight in Cleveland by technical knockout, but Doyle died in hospital the next day, and Robinson's mother said the incident haunted him forever.
Cut over Sugar's left eye.
The great sports writer Red Smith called him the brooding genius, a darkly dedicated soul who walks in lonely majesty, a prophet without honor, an artist whom nobody but nobody understands. Sugar Ray Robinson had 202 professional fights, often boxing just a few days apart, far more frequently than would be thought of today. His record was 175 wins, with 110 by knockout. But he went on too long. 15 of his defeats came after he was 35 years old, and he fought until he was 44.
Big boxing news, of course, naturally centers around the Turpin-Robinson fight. And here's Sugar Ray getting into his stride at Pumpton Lakes.
Robinson was a hero of New York and of America when he beat Randy Turpin in New York in 1951 to win his title back for the 2nd time. It was said 10,000 people danced and partied in the streets of Harlem.
As a fighter, Mr. Turpin's about one of the best that I've ever met. As a gentleman, he's a wonderful fellow. Those of you who haven't had the pleasure of knowing him, Randy is one of the most regular guys that you ever want to meet.
When he won the 5th middleweight crown in March 1958 in Chicago, coming out of retirement and defeating Carmen Basilio, he was the first to win a divisional title 5 times, re-establishing his status as a legend of the fight game. It was estimated that he earned $4 million from fighting, but he spent it just as quickly with an extravagant lifestyle. He drove a pink Cadillac around New York, owned a restaurant and nightclub, and was the first boxer to carry an entourage with him when he traveled. Robinson lost his fortune, fighting with the Internal Revenue Service over unpaid taxes, but later in life moved to Los Angeles, dabbled in acting and entertainment, and his reputation as one of the best ever fighters cannot be tarnished. When the Associated Press asked a panel of experts to name the fighter of the century in 1999, Robinson won the vote narrowly from Muhammad Ali, Henry Armstrong, Joe Louis, and Willie Pep. Robinson was also named the greatest middleweight and also the greatest welterweight fighter of the century. In the 1975 book, African American Sports Greats by David L. Porter, Ali, who never disguised the fact he idolized Sugar Ray, was asked about Robinson. "I believe I am the greatest heavyweight of all time, but Ray Robinson was the greatest fighter of all time." It was the ultimate compliment.